Oh, I should have my little notebook anyway. I'll use this.
Eric Quintana, Josh Bagriansky. Josh, how are we starting the show today?
Well, I've been trying to make funny jokes, but no one seems to think they're funny, man. So what do you think?
I don't know.
I've been trying really hard. I think I have a good sense of humor, but maybe we should just stop doing it.
Is it worth it?
It's not worth it.
Do you feel embarrassed when you do those things?
I think I'm hilarious, but no one else does, so I say we just stop.
All right, let's go.
Okay, so let's go to the board and get started. Oh, my knee! Oh, God! Welcome to episode 4 of Talkin Tactics. I'm your host, Josh Bagriansky. Thanks for joining us. You can listen to me every week on Mouths of the South podcast with my good friend Eric Quintana behind the camera. You can follow us at MOTS Podcast. We do a pod like every Wednesday or Thursday. It's pretty fun, Eric, and don't you think? You enjoy it? And
I hate doing the podcast with you.
Oh, you have? Well, good. Well, this is going well so far. But like I said, it's still a good product, even though we don't like each other, at MOTS Podcast, okay? You can also follow me at JoshB914. You can follow Eric at Eric G. Quintana. And, of course, the mothership, Dirty South Soccer, at Dirty South Sock, as you can see on our wonderful screen there. As I said, this is episode 4 of Talkin Tactics. To be honest, I'm a little bit as confused as some of y'all are about the tactics in terms of what's supposed to be happening. You can listen to the podcast. Eric and I talked about a lot of that has to do with just being early days, and I think the team's still adjusting to certain things. So I want to talk about something that applies in any sort of three-back set, whether it be a 3-4-3 or the 3-5-2 we saw last year with Tata Martino. I want to talk about the importance of the wing-backs of this formation and how defensively you can really get hurt when they get caught high up the pitch. So let's take a look at Atlanta United's formation and what we've seen so far this season. And you're all familiar at this point. You've got your back three here. That's the exact same as pretty much what we saw last year with Tata Martino in terms of how it's set up. So far, we've seen either Miles Robinson or Michael Parkhurst in this spot here. We've seen Parkhurst or Miles Robinson at the right center back spot. Leandro Gonzalez-Pirez at the left center back spot. But the two players that are defenders I want to talk about today are your right wing back and your left wing back. And we're going to look at some film from the match against Monterrey where the wing backs were caught high and wide up the pitch and were exposed in wide areas. So, of course, you have your right back here, Mikey Ambrose. So we'll just give a little name there. You guys know Mikey Ambrose. That's pretty good, right? Look at that. Okay. And Breck Shea on the left, okay? Like that. You like how I wrote Mikey Ambrose?
Why is Ambrose curved?
Because I ran out of space, okay? Golly, we're trying to do a professional show here. Shut up. Okay, so these are your wingbacks here. When Atlanta United are back into a shell defensively, it looks like a back five, right? I mean, but you'll see a lot of times, because Frank de Boer wants his wingbacks to attack in possession, that these two will end up way up here, up the pitch. So anytime Atlanta United have the ball for a long period of time, you're going to see those guys bomb forward into attack. The problem with that, of course, is that when this happens, let's get a better eraser than that. When this happens, you've got this space wide open in these two areas here. And we saw Monterrey really, really feast hitting balls. They could be from the back, the midfield, wherever. But just getting into these spaces after the wingbacks bombed high. Now, fortunately, with a back three, it's somewhat designed to handle that because you can have, say it comes to this side, you can have your right center back, Leandro Gonzalez-Pirez, come and mark this man out wide, and then you can still have necessary cover with the center backs covering in behind. You'll still have two players basically covering for Leandro Gonzalez-Pirez when he moves to this side. Same thing if it's this is Michael Parkhurst. Same thing on this side with Leandro Gonzalez-Pirez moving to the left. If he has to slide into this area when the wingback's caught high, he's got cover in behind with these two defenders here. It's still a very dangerous situation, and that's what we're going to look at with the film. Even, I've heard a lot of people say it's okay, it's a 3v3 with the three defenders against two attackers, or a 3v2, or a 3v3, or a 3v4 with an extra defender back. Those are still all very, very dangerous situations. And if you allow a team into this space and your center back, sometimes your center mid's pulled out of position to have to go mark that player out wide, You might be able to get away with it a few times, but if it starts to happen over and over and over again, eventually you're going to get burnt. So let's take a look at the film, and let's look at Rayados Monterrey attacking into these spaces, maybe not with so much success early in the match, but a sign of things to come later, and it ends up creating the third goal, which is an absolute gut punch for Atlanta United. Let's go to the film.
So here we see Atlanta United in possession, and look at Breck Shea, top of your screen, trying to attack down his wing. But Atlanta United get turned over, and it's no coincidence that Monterrey are going to attack right into that space where Breck Shea should be. Freeze it right there. Here's the key. Your center back in Leandro Gonzalez-Perez is getting pulled into that left, where the left wing back defending, and it's leaving a dangerous situation with players in behind him. Fortunately for Atlanta United, in this early situation where this occurred, there is enough cover inside and not enough attackers to really be too dangerous of a situation, as we can see here. Harmless shot from Pabon over the bar. Our second example comes just moments later, and this time it's the Monster looking to bomb the ball with a direct ball into that space where Breck Shea would be. Let's pause it right there. As we can see, look where Breck Shea is. Right around midfield, top of your screen. Where's the space? In that wide area where the wingback would normally be. So let's play the clip through. And once again, let's pause it one more time. You can see Miles Robinson this time has been pulled out of position. He's one of the three center backs. He's pulled all the way wide left, and you have two Monterrey attackers inside of him. This is basically a 3v3 or a 4v3 break. Again, Atlanta United handled it well in this case, but it's a dangerous situation that's going to cost them later. So we're going to watch the build-up to Monterrey's third goal here. And again, Atlanta United are in possession, and those wing-backs are getting high into attacking areas. Mikey Ambrose on the right, on the ball right here, and you can see Breck Shea making that run at the bottom of your screen. Now Breck Shea in possession again. This is what Frank de Boer wants. He wants his wing-backs to get up into the attack. The problem is, if you turn the ball over, as we're right about to see, it can be problems. Breck Shea, your left wing back, he's irrelevant on this play. He's basically at the top of the 18-yard box in an attacking area. Look where the space is. Right where he would have been. It's no coincidence that's where Monterrey attack into. And let's pause it one more time right here. Again, it's a similar situation. Atlanta United have done well to get bodies back. If you continually allow opponent, as we've seen, into space in 1v1 areas, it just takes a split second of miscommunication for the opponent to make you pay. And we see just that here, gut punch for the third goal.
Appreciate you tuning into episode 4 of Talkin Tactics. As you can see, I'm laid up with an undisclosed injury. We'll keep secret what exactly happened, so you'll probably never find out how I hurt my knee, but just wish me the best of luck. Well, I've got you. Thank you so much for tuning into episode 4. Today we talked about the weaknesses that can be shown when the wing backs get forward into attack. It might have seemed like we were picking on Breck Shea a little bit today. Really, we weren't. The positions that he was in, that's where Frank de Boer wants his wingbacks to go. It's where Tata Martino wanted his wingbacks to go, in a back three with two wingbacks. The problem with that, and just like every formation concedes space somewhere, when you play three at the back, you concede space in those high and wide areas when your wingbacks get caught out. So that's what we took a little bit of a look at tonight. Again, we're not picking on those wingbacks. That's just one of the vulnerabilities that comes with this formation. How can Atlanta United handle it better? First of all, you've got to be tidier in possession. If you're losing the ball in attacking areas, there's nothing those wingbacks can do to get back and get into position. And the other thing is, when inevitably the opposition does get into that attacking space in a high and wide spot, the players who are remaining on defense have got to do a good job of communicating their positional shifts. And by that I mean the center back has to communicate when he's getting pulled out wide. The players in behind him have to do a better job of picking up their man. And that's what we saw in the third goal. Didn't work out too well. Hope you enjoyed episode 4 of Talkin Tactics. You can follow me, Josh Bagriansky, at JoshB914. Eric Quintana behind the camera at Eric G. Quintana. And of course, you can listen to us every week on Mouths of the South podcast. Follow us on Twitter at MOTS podcast. Appreciate y'all. Holla. It's over. Just give me a point. I say we just stop.
All right, let's go.
Okay, so let's go to the board and get started. Oh, my knee! Oh, God! Ah! You ready? And where's the camera again?
This thing right here. This thing right here.
It's important. All right.